Hello friends, today we are going to learn about Single Responsibility Principle SRP. Let's take a look into the traditional definition of Single Responsibility Principle. According to Wikipedia, the Single Responsibility Principle is a computer programming principle that states that every module or class should have responsibility over a single part of the functionality provided by the software, and that responsibility should be entirely encapsulated by the class. According to Robert C. Martin, a class should have only one reason to change. What does this mean? Confused? Let's take a practical example. I have a console application single responsibility principle in which I have a class called program having main method. I have a class library called middle layer in which I have a class user profile. Let's say in this class I have a method called add. I have the logic here to add a user profile, and after successfully adding the user profile into my database, I am printing a line in my console which is user profile added successfully. Similarly, I have another method called update. I have a logic to update the user profile, and I am printing a line in my console user profile updated successfully. Similarly, I have another method called delete in which I have a logic to delete a user profile, and I am printing a line in my console user profile deleted successfully. As we saw earlier, according to Robert C. Martin, a class should have only one reason to change. But after this add method, we added this update method, delete method as well, and we updated class twice. Do you think we are violating the single responsibility principle? No, we are not. The reason behind that is all these methods are performing operations on user profile, which is the one and only reason to change the class. Let's add another method, public void send email. I have a logic to send a mail, logic to send a mail, and once email sent successfully, I am printing the same message in my console, email sent successfully, and I am calling the send email method after the user profile gets added successfully into my database. By adding this method, do you think we are violating the single responsibility principle? Then yes. As I am adding this method in user profile class, which is not responsible at all to send a notification of any form, whether it is email, whether it is SMS. The only responsibility of my user profile class is to manage the profile related activity. That might be add, update, delete. In future, we may add functions like select a user profile, select all user profiles, right? But this send email function, which is not something which is related to my user profile, which is not the activity which is directly related to my user profile. Okay, so what should we do to overcome this issue? What we can do is we can add another class. let's say notification, and make this class accountable to send the to send any type of notification, whether it is email or it is SMS. Send email and send SMS. I have a logic to send SMS, and I am printing a message in my console: SMS sent successfully. And we can remove this method from my user profile class, and I can create object of my notification class in my user profile, and with help of this object I can call this send email method which exists in my notification class. Okay, let's run this application. Before run, we need to add the reference of my middle layer class library, which is already there. What I can do, I can create the object of my user profile class, obj user profile is equal to new user profile, and I can call the add method to read the messages in my console. I can add the line console dot read line. If I execute this console application, you can see the add method gets called, in which I have a line user profile added successfully, which I'm printing in console. And after user profile added successfully into my database, my send email function gets called, and which is printing the line email sent successfully. What is the purpose? What is the purpose behind to do so? What is the purpose behind to make a class responsible to perform only related tasks? User profile user profile class should responsible to handle primary tasks, which is add user profile, update user profile, delete, select, etc. User profile class should not be responsible to send any type of notification. This is not only just related with the notification, but let's say for example we are logging errors, so we cannot have the logic to add any type of error in my user profile class. We can have another separate class to handle the to log the error into my database, and make that class responsible to handle only error related operations. Okay, what we are achieving to do so, as this should be a common practice followed by any developer or in your daily coding activity. We are separating our logic and make a class accountable to perform only related tasks. So the changes would be easy if we need to change something in existing logic, or writing down a new function. We save ourselves to make changes in any other module inadvertently. Guys, this is a very basic principle which should be followed by any developer, and add a great value when you are dealing with enterprise level application. I tried my best to explain the single responsibility principle, and if you really enjoyed the video, if you really liked the video, please hit like button and subscribe the channel. Thank you so much.